She said, "Whatever, I have plenty of other options," after threatening to leave during our fight. I said, "So do I, apparently." Then I made sure she knew exactly what those options looked like. Her panic attack when she saw my dating app success. I, 29 male, had been with Sienna, 27, for 2.5 years. We'd moved in together 6 months ago. Things were okay until they weren't. Sienna had this thing where every disagreement turned into a threat. Not physical threats. Emotional ones. The nuclear option was always on the table. Maybe we should break up. I don't think this is working. I could be with someone who appreciates me. At first I'd panic. Beg her to reconsider. Promise to do better. Classic manipulation response. I know now. But it worked for her, so she kept doing it. The pattern was predictable. 1. Minor disagreement. 2. She escalates to relationship-ending threats. 3. I scramble to fix things. 4. She gets what she wants. 5. Love bombing for a few days. 6. Repeat. Last Tuesday it was about dinner plans. I'd made reservations at this Italian place for our anniversary. She wanted sushi. Normal couples would compromise. Maybe do Italian for dinner and get sushi another night. Not us. I can't believe you didn't even ask me, she said, scrolling through her phone. I did ask. Last week. You said Italian sounded good. I was being polite. You should know I prefer sushi for special occasions. Okay, I'll cancel. We can do sushi. She slammed her phone down. That's not the point, Garrett. The point is you don't listen to me. I literally just offered to change. Whatever. She stood up, grabbing her purse. I have plenty of other options. Guys who would actually pay attention to what I want. There it was. The threat. Usually this is where I'd start apologizing, begging her not to leave. But something snapped. So do I, apparently. She froze. What? Options. I have them too. Never really thought about it, but yeah. Her face went through several expressions. Confusion. Anger. Then that smirk. Oh please. You can barely order pizza without anxiety. You're right. I should work on that. She laughed. Actually laughed. Good luck finding someone who puts up with your gaming habits and your weird food things. Thanks. Good luck to you too. I walked to our bedroom and closed the door. Could hear her standing in the hallway, waiting for me to come out and apologize. After 10 minutes, she left. Slammed the front door hard enough to rattle the pictures. She'd be back in a few hours. She always came back once I'd learned my lesson. Except this time, I actually learned something different. Update 1. She came back around 11 p.m. I was in bed, reading. She made a lot of noise coming in, waiting for me to come check on her. I didn't. Finally, she came to the bedroom. So you're just gonna ignore me? I'm reading. We need to talk about earlier. Okay. You said you have other options. I said so do I. What's to discuss? She sat on the bed. I didn't mean it like that. You know I just say things when I'm upset. Yeah, I know. Every single fight for 2 years. Don't be dramatic. I'm not. I'm being factual. You threaten to leave or find someone else literally every time we disagree. She tried to touch my hand. I moved it. Garrett, come on. You know I love you. Do you? Or do you love that I fold every time you threaten to leave? That's not, I don't. It's late. I have work tomorrow. She stared at me, waiting for the apology that always came. When it didn't, she got up and went to the living room. I heard the TV turn on. The next morning, I did something I'd been curious about for a while. I downloaded a dating app. Not to cheat, to see. Was I really as undesirable as she always implied? Created a basic profile, few recent photos, honest bio about my interests, nothing fancy. Then I went to work and forgot about it. By lunch, I had 8 matches and dozens of likes. By the time I got home, it was over 20 matches. I was looking at the messages when Sienna got home. Simple stuff. Hey, how's your day? Love that you're into board games too. Your dog is adorable. What are you smiling at? She was standing behind the couch. Just something funny online. She came around trying to see my phone. I locked it. Since when do you hide your phone? Since when do you care what I'm doing? I'm your girlfriend. Who has plenty of other options, remember? Her face darkened. Are you seriously still on that? I told you I didn't mean it. And I told you I'm tired of hearing it. She stormed off to the bedroom. I stayed on the couch, actually reading some of the messages. One woman, Jules, was genuinely funny. Another, Amara, shared my weird obsession with true crime podcasts. Was I going to pursue anything? No. But knowing these women existed, that they found me interesting enough to message, it shifted something. That night, Sienna tried a different approach. Came out in lingerie, being extra affectionate. 2 years ago it would have worked. I'm tired, I said. Long day. The look on her face was something I'd never seen. Confusion mixed with actual concern. She wasn't used to her plays not working. Update 2. The next few days were tense. Sienna oscillated between being super sweet and picking fights over nothing. I stayed consistent. Polite but distant. Didn't take the bait when she tried to start arguments. Friday night, she went nuclear. We need to talk. She was dressed up. Full makeup. Sure. I'm going out with Meredith and some friends. Don't wait up. Have fun. She waited. I went back to my book. That's it. Have fun. What else would you like me to say? I don't know. Maybe ask where I'm going. Who'll be there? You're an adult. Go wherever you want. She grabbed her purse aggressively. You know what? Maybe I will explore those other options tonight. Okay. Okay. That's all you have to say. I looked up from my book. Sienna, you've threatened to find someone else 23 times in the past year. I counted. If you want to go do that, go ahead. 23. You counted. Started keeping track after last Christmas. You threatened to find someone who'd buy you better presents, remember? She stood there, mouth open, then recovered. Well, maybe I should. Plenty of guys at Junction Bar would love to buy me drinks. Junction's a good spot. They have those fancy cocktails you like. She looked like she wanted to throw something. Instead, she left, slamming the door again. I ordered pizza, caught up on a show she hated, and checked my dating app. 38 matches now. Had actual conversations going with 6 women. Around 1 a.m., the text started. At Junction. So many guys here. This banker just bought me a $20 martini. He's really handsome and tall. Probably gonna give him my number. I responded once. Be safe. Uber if you're drinking. Radio silence after that. She came home at 3 a.m., drunk and angry. Tried to wake me up to fight. I pretended to be deeply asleep. She gave up after 10 minutes. Saturday morning, she was a mess. Hungover, embarrassed, and furious that her grand manipulation had failed. You don't even care that I was out with other guys. I was making breakfast. You're an adult who threatened to explore other options. I assumed you were doing that. I can't believe you just let me go. Let you. I don't own you, Sienna. You wanted to go out. You went out. A real boyfriend would have fought for me. A real girlfriend wouldn't threaten to replace me every time she doesn't get her way. She started crying. Not sad tears. Frustrated ones. You've changed. You're being cruel. I'm being consistent. You're just not used to it. That afternoon, while she was shower crying, her Saturday ritual when things didn't go her way, I went for coffee. Mainly to get out of the apartment. But also because Jules had mentioned this cafe in our messages. Wasn't planning to meet her. Just wanted a peaceful coffee. But there she was, reading in the corner. Recognized her from her profile. We made eye contact. She smiled. Waved. I waved back. She gestured to the empty chair across from her. Just coffee. Just talking. About books, podcasts, normal things. No threats. No manipulation. Just conversation. I was there an hour. When I got home, Sienna was dressed and putting on makeup. Where were you? Getting coffee. For an hour? It was nice out. Sat and read for a bit. She studied my face. I'm going to my mom's for the night. Okay. Drive safe. That's it. You're not gonna ask me to stay. You're an adult, Sienna. If you want to go to your mom's, go. She was practically vibrating with frustration. Fine. Maybe I'll stay longer than one night. Take as long as you need. Update 3. She was gone for 3 days. During that time, I deep cleaned the apartment. Caught up on work projects. Had coffee with Jules twice. Still just as friends. Matched with a dozen more women. Realized how peaceful life was without constant emotional terrorism. Monday night, I was cooking dinner when I heard her key in the lock. She came in dragging her weekend bag, looking exhausted. Hey, she said quietly. Hey, there's extra chicken if you're hungry. She sat at the counter. We need to talk. Okay. I've been doing a lot of thinking at my mom's. Here it comes, I thought. The tears, the promises to change, the love bombing. And I think you're being emotionally abusive. I actually laughed. Couldn't help it. I'm being abusive. Yes, this coldness, this distance. It's punishment. No, Sienna, it's boundaries. You're trying to manipulate me into changing. I'm not trying to do anything. You're free to keep threatening to leave every time you don't get your way. I'm just not reacting to it anymore. She pulled out her phone. I've been talking to guys on apps too, you know. Good for you. Look. She shoved the phone in my face. This guy's a doctor. And this one has a boat. They seem nice. You should meet them. Her face crumbled. Why don't you care? Because you've cried wolf too many times. You want to leave. Leave. You want to date other people. Date them. But stop using it as a threat to control me. She threw her phone on the counter. Show me yours. What? Your phone. I know you're talking to someone. That's why you're acting like this. I pulled out my phone, opened the dating app, and handed it to her. Watched her face as she scrolled through matches, messages, conversations. 50. You have 50 matches. 57 actually. This girl, she messaged you first. And this one, she's pretty. They're all pretty and interesting and none of them have threatened to leave me even once. She scrolled faster, frantic. You've been on dates. Coffee. Twice. With someone who likes the same books I do. That's cheating. No. That's coffee. You were at your mom's, remember? Taking time to think. She stood up, pacing. Delete it. No. Delete the app. No. If you don't delete it right now, we're over. I took my phone back, looked her straight in the eye. Okay. Okay, you'll delete it. Okay, we're over. The silence was deafening. She stared at me like I'd grown a second head. You're breaking up with me. No. You just broke up with me. Ultimatum, remember. Delete the app or we're over. I choose over. I didn't mean. Yes, you did. You meant it as a threat to get me to comply. Like always. Except this time, I'm calling your bluff. She started hyperventilating. Actual panic attack. Sat on the floor, gasping. For a second, I almost caved. Almost went to comfort her. Instead, I got her a glass of water, set it beside her, and said, breathe slowly. In through your nose, out through your mouth. When she calmed down, she looked up at me with red eyes. You really want to break up? I want to be with someone who doesn't threaten to leave me as a control tactic. That's clearly not you. I can change. No, you can't. Because you don't think you're doing anything wrong. You think I'm the abusive one for having boundaries. She tried one more manipulation. Nobody will love you like I do. Thank God for that. Final update. She moved out the next week. Tried every manipulation in the book. Suicide threats. I called 911 for a wellness check. Claiming she was pregnant. Demanded a test. She wasn't. Saying I'd been abusive all along. I kept our text history showing her patterns. Threatening to ruin my reputation. Nobody believed her after she'd cried wolf so many times. The funniest part? She immediately got on dating apps and started bragging about all her matches. Posted stories about upgrading and knowing her worth. Cool. Hope those guys enjoy the constant threats. I kept my apartment, my sanity, and my self-respect. Deleted the dating apps for now. Not because she asked, but because I need time to work on myself. Therapy to understand why I accepted that treatment for so long. Jules and I still get coffee sometimes. Just friends, though she's made it clear she's interested when I'm ready. No pressure. No threats. Just normal human interaction. Last week, I ran into Sienna's friend Meredith at the grocery store. She pulled me aside. Hey, just so you know, Sienna's telling everyone you were controlling and abusive. I figured. Yeah, well, nobody who actually knows you believes it. We all saw how she treated you. I'm sorry we didn't say anything sooner. It's fine. I needed to learn that lesson myself. For what it's worth, her new guy already dumped her. She threatened to leave him over him, forgetting to text her back. He just said okay and blocked her. I didn't feel happy about that. Didn't feel sad either. Just nothing. 6 months later, I'm doing better than I have in years. Still in therapy. Still learning what healthy relationships look like. Turns out they don't involve constant threats of abandonment. Who knew? Got a text from an unknown number last week. I miss us. Deleted it without responding. Some options aren't worth exploring twice. Eat it. For those asking, no. I didn't start dating to make her jealous. I downloaded the app to see if I really was as undesirable as she always implied. The confidence boost from realizing I had options just helped me stop accepting her behavior. And yes, I'm still single and working on myself. Not everyone needs a happy ending with a new relationship. Sometimes the happy ending is just being free.